Oh, folks, Daryl Inkster here. Well, another couple of weeks have gone by, and still involved in this fight. Pretty deep, pretty big time. It just never ceases to amaze me how stupid some of these government bastards are. I don't know how they can walk and talk without falling down. Mind-boggling. Anyway, this little video here, I want to deal with some of the problems happening Canada-wide. When I started this fight, it was all mine, and I didn't realize how widespread this shit is, but it's happening all across Canada, how these utility companies, and it seems the governments, and definitely the crooked companies building these things for the governments, or so they say it's for the governments, they all just love to tramp all over everybody's rights like a bunch of fucking criminals. And that's what they are, criminals. Now, in my case, I was railroaded for reporting unsafe work. And I'm right. Everybody knows I'm right. But yet these government arseholes have gone to lengths unbeknownst to me previously. I didn't realize how crooked they are until I got into this fight. But they're doing it to other people too. And one case in point out in Muskrat Falls, the sons of bitches actually arrested a 96-year-old lady for being at the gate of the project there. Now, what kind of a despicable piece of shit cocksucker arrests a 96-year-old woman, scares the shit out of her, and then drops the charges afterwards when people start raising hell and pointing out the fact how despicable these cocksuckers are? Absolutely mind-boggling. And they're getting away with it. You people out there, you got to stand up. I know you're trying to, but you got to stand up farther and harder, just like we're doing here in Manitoba. Don't be scared of these sons of bitches. They're ruining your fucking lives, and if you don't do something about it, it's going to be too late. Now, same thing's going on out in Alberta and Peace River. They call it BC, but it's actually on the Peace River, basically right on the border of Alberta and BC. And out there, they're flooding huge amounts of really nice farmland. Farmland that's been in families for generations. I just read a story this morning about the Boone family there, in which the government stole their fucking land. They're going to steal it. They're letting them live there for a couple years until they pull the plug and flood it all. But can you imagine? These people have lived there for decades. Their families were all raised there, and they farmed that land and looked after it. And here these pompous, arrogant bastards, at the behest of Christy Clark, have swooped in there and totally fucking destroyed their lives. For what? To make a big, huge power dam to send sub-value hydro down into the U.S. Well, I have a big problem with that. Usually I'm not an activist type. I'm not against capitalism. And I'm not against the oil patch, definitely. I've worked out there a few times. And I've worked on pipelines. I'm not really against pipelines per se. But what I am against is heavy-handed bullshit that steals people's land, fucks up their lives, fucks up their reputations, and doesn't give a shit. And then tries to walk away from it, or worse yet, blame the people for it yet. Now, there's something wrong with that fucking picture. Now, on the Site C project out there, I've reached out to people, and I feel for them. I really do. I know what it feels like to be shit upon by your government and all the crooked son of a bitch bastards that they hire. And it's not a good feeling. It destroys your fucking life. You think about it every waking minute of every day. And yes, I feel for the people out there and in Muskrat Falls. But I'm telling you folks this. Don't be scared of these bastards. If you know something is fact, put it out there. Put it on your Facebook pages. Put it on YouTube. Get the media if you can. Most of them don't want to touch this story. Of that, there is no doubt. But you have to keep trying. You have to be tenacious as a fucking junkyard dog. And when you know these bastards are shoving it up your ass, you grab it and you pull it out. Don't let them keep pushing it. Now, they'll scare you. They'll try and threaten you with court action. They'll do whatever. But the fact is, they don't want this stuff getting into court where you could prove to them, prove to the court, that you've been screwed over and that your charter rights have been broken. You have the right to tell your story, no matter what these greasy fuckers try and tell you. Now, I'm living proof of that. I've been fighting for 1.5 years, and I've been saying and doing a lot of things that they don't like, but they know I'm right and they can't do anything about it. I've openly challenged them to sue me if they want. Nobody has. But I also make sure I can back up what I'm saying, and I can. I've obtained stacks and reams of information in regards to my fight under the Freedom of Information Act. And you folks have the right to do that too. Use that right. Fight back. You don't need lawyers. You can do a lot of it yourself. But you gotta grow balls, and you gotta stand up, and you gotta surround yourself with quality people. And you can do it. Look at Standing Rock. Like I said, I'm not against pipelines per se, but I am against what they were doing to the people down there, and I'm glad they beat it. And I know some of my friends ain't going to want to hear me say that, but unless you live through something like I am and have, and the people down there have, and the people at Muskrat Falls have, and the people at Site C and along the Peace River have, you're not qualified to talk. Because when your fucking family and your possessions and your life are threatened, the storyline changes. You go from being on the edge thinking, oh gee, I'm glad it's not in my backyard, to becoming right in there, and it is in your fucking backyard. And it disrupts and destroys your whole life. And if you don't do something about it, you're going to get it. And basically, you deserve what you get if you don't fight back. Nobody's going to do it for you. When you come together and you form a group, then other people will help you, but you have to do most of it yourself. And you have to challenge these bastards. And don't give up. By the Jesus Christ, since this has all started for me, I've encountered probably 1,000 dirty, rotten government cocksuckers that have done nothing but try to fuck me up. And I keep fighting, and I still am. And that's what you guys got to do. You can do it. It's not easy, but you can do it. And sooner or later, the pricks that are responsible for all this stuff are going to be held accountable. That I do know. It can be done. So, I want to tell you, folks, I know I use a lot of coarse language. That's me. I'm an old truck driver. I'm 56. I've been around, and I apologize to nobody for my language and the way I talk. After what I've been through, most people would be doing the same fucking thing I am right now. I am fed up. I'm tired of seeing myself and my friends shit on. And someone needs to stand firmly and plant it into the ground and fight back however you can. Do it legally. Don't make threats. Don't go and beat the shit out of anybody, no matter how difficult it is to hold back from wanting to do that or following through with it. But don't. Fight them legally. You can do it. There's provisions under the Criminal Code of Canada with your RCMP. There's provisions under the Freedom of Rights Act. Or, not the Freedom of Rights Act. The Charter of Human Rights and Freedoms, And we still have free speech. It's restricted a bit, but we still have it. Use it. Now, one of the other things you all need to do, and we're trying to do, is to network. Share your information, share your ideas. If you don't completely agree with somebody, that's okay. Let them go their own way. Let them do their own fight their way. They're doing it. You do it your way, but you do it together. An octopus has 8 legs. We have a lot more than that. But whatever you do, don't let people intimidate you and tell you that you're not going to win, or you shouldn't be doing this, or we're going to get you. Tell them to fuck off. It's one great thing about living in Canada. We can still do that. And if you give up that right and you don't use it, it's your own damn fault. But I'm going to tell you guys all something. There's a lot of crooked shit going on in this country, and someone needs to expose it before it is too late. And that's what we're trying to do here. Hang in there, folks. Goodbye from Dauphin, Manitoba.